So I made a video a little while back talking about what's better, power plants or converters. Okay, I went into all the elements and all that sort of stuff, and I talked about how much efficiency you would need from a power plant to justify not getting a converter instead. And the results are quite interesting with the later tiers, tier 3 and tier 4, needing a much higher threshold where more converters might actually make more sense. And I will break down these numbers really cohesively, like the best possible outcome for your plot. But the next one in line is fuel converters, okay? What is better? How many power plants you want to buy or how many fuel converters you want to get? So I will rehash this quickly if you guys missed the last one, but this is coming from all these comments in the other video saying that you guys want to see the fuel video. So we are going to do it right now. Now, for anyone that doesn't remember, basically, I'm talking about how much efficiency power plants give in total on fuel converters on your plot. So essentially, if you have one power plant and you have, let's say, 10 converters and each of them are getting 10% boost from this power plant. Now remember, a power plant can give up to 20% directly next to a building. If they're all getting 10%, then that would be 100% boost on efficiency across all of your fuel converters. And the math here is that 100% efficiency better than just buying another converter, okay? Keeping in mind that I'm considering the base rate for converters, which is actually 70% efficiency, not 100%, 70% when they come in. It might even be able to go lower than that. So you've got to keep all of these things in mind. Now, I do include T1 plots in this because there's a little bit of data there, but just like last time, it's kind of flimsy because the conversion itself, you don't really get much from it. Not at the lower efficiencies, at least. So at the lower efficiencies, you're actually losing materials. You'll find that like a level 6 converter, if it's at 70 or 60% efficiency, you might be taking in 5 krypton and putting out like 3 solon or 4 solon. Like, you're losing materials for the most part. The passive generation does hold it up a little bit, much more than it does on the element sides, the element converters, which is why they're included, but it is definitely not perfect. So as you can see with the base rates here, considering that they consume about 12 at the level 6, 10 at the level 5, and passive generation is 4 and 6. Now, these generations are based on T1 plot, so the math actually goes through all the other stuff for me. But more importantly, they're based on 2 days. That's because up here with passive generation, for the first 2 levels, it's based on 2 days. So just to get everything lined up properly, I had to do that for everything. So this is based on 2 days. So every 2 days, your T4 level 6 converter could generate you about 40 fuel. Now, if you consider that if you had no singularity scanners, things like that, I could definitely see you having maybe 20 converters with pretty high efficiency. Then you'd be getting, what's 20 times 40? 800 fuel every 2 days, which is pretty good. 400 fuel a day, that is not bad at all. So you can see how this sort of stuff starts to really get interesting when you start to min macro it. So let's jump into the charts. So firstly, for the T1 plot per resource, I'm going to zoom in this a bit. The T1% per resources, you can see that at the higher end, as you get to 80% efficiency, you're starting to get 14 fuel from that 80% efficiency boost across all your different converters. On the level 5 converters, you're only getting about 11 fuel from it, and then it drops even more at the level 4 converters. So you can see there's a really big jump between level 4 and level 5, and then even between level 5 and level 6. So those high efficiencies are really going to make a big difference. The difference even at like a 40% efficiency across. So for example, if there were 2 converters and 1 power plant in the middle, you could be boosting up to about 6 fuel. 7 fuel is what it's looking like here. So it's a really big jump even on the T1 plot. You can see the T2 plot gets even bigger. And here we've got the new converter ones added in, and we'll talk about that in a second. So basically you've got, at the high end, you're getting almost 20 fuel from 80% boost across all the converters, which really doesn't seem like too much. But when you consider that a new converter would net you only 4 fuel, okay, only about 4 fuel on the level 6, then you're seeing that you only need about 20% boost on that power plant to justify getting a power plant instead of a converter. Not to mention how much cheaper it is. You don't have to upgrade at 5 levels. So it's, what, 10 minutes versus like 12 days, 13 days, or whatever it might be. A power plants just make the most sense on T2. There's no denying it. especially when you're trying to max out your plot. But eventually the power plants aren't going to do anything because everything's going to be at max efficiency, and then you start getting those new converters. But you can just see just how much you're gaining from this. There's really no justifying not prioritizing power plants on these T2 plots. So if we start to look at T3, the separation between these top three is even more. You're close to 30 on a level 6 converter. You're close to just above 20 on a level 5 converter, and you're about the 15 mark on a level 4 converter. So you're getting about 5 or 6 fuel every single time you level that thing up. Not to mention at about 35% or 32 to 35% is where your power plants are really shining, which again is not that much. 2 things directly next to your power plant is 40%. So you only need 1 power plant next to 2 converters to justify not getting another converter. I hope that makes it a bit easier to understand. So with the T4 plot, the power plants start to get a little bit less efficient. You need since they need about 50% to try and match the amount you would get from just a fresh converter, you're looking at this situation where you need to have it next to 3 converters that aren't already at max efficiency to start to really reap the benefits of those power plants. So a couple will obviously be very mandatory on every plot of land, but at some point you're definitely going to have to stop and start shifting towards those converters. Those power plants better be giving you 50 to 60% on your converters to make it worth your while. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I know many of you have probably noticed I am watching the Illuvium merch right now. I am wearing it. If you guys want a 5% discount, use Scoriox5 at checkout. It is an affiliate link. Have a good day, guys.